If your drippers and your drip irrigation system aren't working quite right, don't worry, it's probably a pretty simple fix. Today, I'm going to go over the 5 common issues that we see with drippers and how to troubleshoot them. All right, let's get started. Issue number 1, erratic or low flow from your drippers. When this happens, it's usually a case of too low of pressure or too little flow in your system. To diagnose this is easy. For flow, add up all the drippers that will operate at once or on one zone so that you know the total flow rate of your system. For example, if I'm using 10 half-gallon per hour drippers, I have 5-gallon per hour system flow. If I have 100, it's 50 gallons per hour. Once you have the total flow of your irrigation system, the sum of all emitters operating at once, you can compare that to the flow rate of your water source. For example, if your water source flows at 250 gallons per hour, but your total count of drippers is 300 gallons per hour, some of them are going to be starved of water. You're going to experience those exact symptoms. If you haven't yet and you'd like to learn how to test the flow rate of your water source, check out the video there in the top right. It's a step-by-step guide to quickly and easily test the flow rate of your water source. If you have a sufficient flow, but you're still getting reduced flow from some drippers, it could be a pressure problem. To determine if pressure is the problem, do the same thing, add up the flow rate of your drippers, and then check our irrigation calculator online to see if you're experiencing too much friction loss from having too small of a diameter of main line. A fix in that case is pretty easy. You could zone the system so that fewer are operating at once, or you could go with a larger diameter main line so that you're losing less pressure from friction. Pressure loss can come from too much flow running in for the diameter, or if the run length of the line is too long for your tubing. For example, half-inch tubing should really be kept to lengths of 200 feet or less. If you're too much over that, the friction loss curve starts to get pretty steep, and you could just be experiencing pressure loss. If you think the diameter of your mainline might be the problem, you could use the simple charts that you see on the screen right now. These are general all-purpose use charts. However, they're not written in stone. If you'd like to learn the real ins and outs of how to size a mainline, check out the video there in the top right. It's a step-by-step guide that shows you how to calculate this and find the right mainline for your needs. If pressure or flow is a problem, just work through those steps and generally you'll be able to pinpoint the issue. Another possible cause of too low of pressure or too low of flow in your irrigation system is a leak. If that's the case, walk your lines, look for any leaks. Fixing that leak will almost certainly repair your pressure or flow issues. Issue number 2, drippers spraying or misting instead of dripping. Usually, this comes down to having too much pressure, and this is actually one of the easiest problems to fix. If your drippers are hissing, spitting, and then continuing to spray or mist, all you probably need is a pressure regulator. Drip irrigation works best at anywhere from about 10 to 30 psi, and most residential water sources are going to be higher than that. All you have to do is thread one of these on at your hose bib or your head assembly, and it will regulate the downstream pressure and keep your drippers dripping as they should. Click the card in the top right to determine which regulator to get. If you do have a pressure regulator, try this quick trick. You simply put your finger over the outlet of the dripper and apply pressure for a few moments, then quickly release. Sometimes this will cause the turbulence of the water inside to balance things out, engage the diaphragm, or push air that's causing the spitting and hissing down the line. If it's still spraying, check the dripper head. A lot of drippers have a removable cap, and you want to make sure that it's tightened all the way down. If it's not, there might be places for water to escape, and that's where you're going to get your misting and spraying effect from. Issue number 3, drippers not dripping at all. Well, this is very similar to number 1, where it could be way too low of pressure. This would be a very low pressure because drippers do tend to drip as long as they have a little bit of pressure available, or it could be no flow. But it could also mean that you either have a pressure compensating or a C&L dripper. C&L just means check non-leak. And it's something that prevents drippers from draining after a system shutdown, and they tend to have a higher minimum pressure needed to open and operate, sometimes as high as 11 psi. So if you drop down to 9 or 10, it might not even be enough to open the dripper. Similar to C&L is pressure compensating. Pressure compensating drippers often work anywhere from 5 to 15 psi. And if you don't have enough pressure, and it won't properly engage the diaphragm, and the dripper might not drip at all. The fix here is to make sure you have enough pressure from your water source, and you can test this by attaching a pressure gauge to your water source, turning on the water and reading the indicator. It's important to remember that PC or C&L drippers can also stop working in a system that has exceeded its run length or flow rate like we discussed in number 1. Issue number 4, drippers leaking from where it's connected to the tubing. And this goes if you have it punched into the wall of your half-inch tubing or if you have it pushed into the end of some 1/4-inch tubing. Now, the first thing to check here is the most obvious. Make sure the dripper is seated all the way. If you're using 1/4-inch tubing, make sure that tubing is fully covering the barb on your dripper. If you have it punched into the wall of half-inch or larger tubing, make sure it's pushed in all the way. This will probably prevent your leaking. Now, pressure can also cause this. So if your pressure is too high and it's forcing water out of the connection, simply install the pressure regulator like we did in some previous steps. These are inexpensive and very easy to install. They just screw right on. If you're punching into the wall of half-inch or larger tubing, make sure you're using the correct tools. For this, you want to use a 1/4-inch punch, and it's best if it's not dull. If you've had a 1/4-inch punch that you've used for hundreds or even thousands of holes, it might be getting dull and creating a bigger hole than what you actually want. And that's a quick fix. A new sharp punch will usually get you fixed up and ready to go there. And you can plug the holes from where you move drippers with a goof plug, because goof plugs have bigger barbs than drippers. Now, one tip that can prevent this from even happening in the first place is to punch the holes in the tubing when your tubing is colder, like early in the morning or later in the evening. When the tubing is warm, it becomes very soft and flexible, and this can cause it to bend and stretch instead of making a nice clean hole. It's best if your punch just kind of pops through the tubing. Issue number 5, your emitter's popping off your tubing. The first thing that immediately comes to mind when you see a dripper pop off the tubing and water go spraying everywhere is that you might be operating at too much pressure. Again, the fix is a simple pressure regulator at your hose bib or head assembly. But another one is making sure you're using the right kind of tubing. In drip irrigation, there's 2 types of tubing that we see most commonly used for 1/4-inch barb drippers, and that's poly tubing and vinyl tubing. Now, if you're working outside, you want to avoid the vinyl tubing. Vinyl tubing is incredibly soft, and when it sits in the sun, it gets even softer. And even proper pressure, 10 to 25 psi, can cause drippers to pop out of the soft vinyl tubing. So if this is a system that's outside and is going to be exposed to sunlight, use poly tubing. And there's a second reason why, and that's because vinyl breaks down faster under UV exposure than poly tubing does. So there's 2 reasons to make sure you're using the correct tubing type for outside systems. If you'd like to learn about 5 other mistakes it's critical to avoid in drip irrigation, check out the video right there.